Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be searching on eBay for some Pokemon cards. Specifically, we're going to be looking to get ourselves, I should say, some excellent deals, and we're going to do so via a few different searches. I'm going to show you what I kind of do when I look for cards, and hopefully you'll get some tips and tricks to be able to do the same. Now, I purchase lots of different cards for different reasons. I've got my own collection. I've also got my own kind of investment portfolio, and I also flip a few cards as well. Now, of course, they all have different kind of strategies, and you'll be more willing to pay for cards perhaps that are for an investment as opposed to flipping, for instance. But there's just some things to bear in mind, and we'll talk about that as we go through. Now, I'm actually going to just start the search because that's what you're here for. Now, I'm going to start with a simple Pokemon search. Now, as you can imagine, a lot of results. You're going to be here forever. So what I like to do is I always like to, auction, buy it now, both feasible strategies. I'm going to start with buy it now. I actually tend to prefer buy it now, and I always search for newly listed. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because auctions, the emotional side of things, you can end up spending a lot more than you wanted to on a card, particularly if there's a late bid. You have the frustration of things like sniping, and also, it's not. I just like going in and buying the card when I can. So I'm going to, start with buy it now. And I always search for newly listed because if it's a particularly good deal, they're not going to be on the platform for very long. And as you can see, I'm on the desktop here as well. It depends what your strategies are. Sometimes I refine this further. I will look for English cards. I don't know the markets particularly well for the other languages of cards and their values. I like to stick to what I know, so I stick for English cards. But yeah, you can use the filters down the side, and I think having used the desktop version of eBay and the mobile version, I always prefer the desktop purely because you get these filters on the side, and that can be a really good way of getting to some of the cards you might be looking at in particular. A lot more, quickly. But always start with a simple Pokemon, buy it now, newly listed, you can't go wrong. So this one has already drawn my attention because I believe this is the Skyridge set. Now, one of the things that I do, and you might have noticed this already, is I always use tabs. So I'll right click, open a new tab, and I'll always sometimes I watch the item if I want to investigate the card further, if it's a card that needs investigating. And what I'll do is I'll open up a few more tabs. So I'm sure you're familiar with Pokemon Price. You can look at the prices of PSA cards, you can look at their populations, and we'll look at that in a moment. And I also open up TCG Player. Now, granted, I'm in the UK, you might have realised by my accent, and probably the URL as well, but I like to use TCG Play just to get a rough idea of a card's value. Granted, slightly different market in the US, but a card is generally the same kind of price across the globe. And if you're looking to sell your cards internationally, then you're not going to go wrong with that either. So let's use this as an example because I actually quite like the look of this. I did initially until I just flicked at the back, and there's some damage or whiting on the corners here, which is never really great if you're looking at a card for either any one of your different goals. If you're investing, you don't want to invest in cards that are not highest quality. Collecting, you probably don't want these kind of cards in your collection. Flipping, sometimes if you get a really good deal, they can be useful. And at the same time, it depends on the card, it depends on the set. Older cards are more likely to have this kind of wear, if you like. This has been described as light played. Yeah, probably a bit worse, to be fair. But reflected in the price, so you can't blame him, and he's tried to be honest here. Let's have a quick look. So So he looks like a good seller. Always check the description, see what he's, here we go. He talks about his own conditions. So these are the kind of descriptions he's using. So noticeable imperfections, rough edges, creases, including played. Well, that's accurate, judging on the way he's described it. So anyway, I'm not here to review someone's classifications for cards. I'm looking to get a deal. Anyway, and if I do find a deal, I'm going to add it to my basket. And I won't check out in today's video because I don't want you to see my payment details. But I will add it to my basket, and be rest assured I will buy it if it's still there by the end of this video. So fingers crossed I don't lose them. So anyway, let's assume this is in fab condition, or I want it. Then, I mean, actually the front of this card is actually pretty nice, and it's a lovely art as well. So what I tend to do, let's assume I like this. We're going to whack this, and sometimes it's good to do this as well, but I copy and paste this into TCG Player. You can, if you know the set, and sometimes you have to do this really quick if perhaps I've got the set wrong. That's not ideal on a video, but if you know that you see a really good deal and you want it, sometimes you don't have time to do this, as I said earlier. Just bear that in mind. But I'm just going to use this as an example just to quickly show you how much this card is roughly worth. So it does look like it's not on here. So that's another example of, oh no, here we go. Apologies. So this is colourless, holo rare. So yeah, so here, if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see the kind of market price and then the median. So median being kind of the average sale price. Obviously, with exchange rates, you're looking at about £4. So, and this tends to be, and this is lightly played. So if you actually look at this, this is a pretty good deal. It's pretty standard price. But of course, don't just go by these kind of websites. You can always check the sold. So I'm going to whack this back into, and sometimes you have to format this. You're not going to get, the way the algorithm works in eBay, this is not probably going to bring up what we want. So you might want to do some reorganization. I tend to put the Pokemon and then the card number of the set. And then we'll hit advanced, top right. And also by doing this, just by the way, we are looking at every card that has this in the title, this specific, So now we can actually see the card compared one-on-one against others. So the mint condition version is available for $9.99. Now I actually quite like the look of that, and just judging by these titles, you can actually sometimes see a seller that is selling multiple items of the same good, which or same cards, which is very useful to know. So these two actually look like they're the same. Newly listed, one's light played, one's good, both at the same price, which is interesting. So you might want to check these both out. Just something sometimes you might want to do. For this particular card, this Pidgeot, I wasn't expecting there to be too many on the market because of it's an old set. But sometimes when you whack it in, you have hundreds of listings. But this one's actually quite a good example for that reason. So you can see, oh, that looks nice. Oh, look at that. So you can see the kind of prices if you scroll down, just roughly what you're looking at here. And you know what? $9.99 for mint does not look bad. I'm quite tempted. Don't have this card. Quite like it. Anyway, what I was going to show you was you can. We don't want that. You can look at sold listings. Now this will give you the most accurate current rough price for what they're selling for. Now, as I've mentioned throughout this video, it depends whether you're collecting, you're flipping, or you're investing. If you're investing, these prices won't really matter that much, depending on how long you want to hold on to the card for. If it's a long-term investment, these are likely to go up way beyond what they're currently selling for. Obviously, it depends. It depends on the set. It depends on what the price you're paying, etc. But generally, for the most part, if you're investing, the price isn't as big of a deal, in my experience. Within reason, of course, with a caveat on there. Flipping, on the other hand, is very important because you don't want to tie your money up into cards, and you want to sell them as quickly as you can after buying them for a profit. So at $4.99, it's not going to be feasible, really, not for a lightly played anyway. A mint has gone for £12. Now, the best price we can see, I've messed up my tabs. Apologies, I'll have to whack this off. So the best we can see is £9.99 on a buy it now. Now, of course, some are going to have, some you might be able to send an offer. Doesn't look like there's any on here. But the best recent price, and I say recent, it's not recent really, is it? It's a couple of months ago. And that only went for £12. So yeah, this is not a card I might invest in it, might buy it for my own personal collection, but this is not a flippable asset at the current moment. Not if you want a short-term flip. So yeah, that's Pidgeot, so we're not going for him. Or her, could be either, we don't know. Probably a her, judging by that haircut. Okay, so that we're back to the start, we're back to Pokemon, okay. Not enough profit in that, and remember, if you're flipping on eBay, you've got not only the postage costs, you've got the sale price, which is 10%. So the eBay final sales fee, I should say, at 10% for a card as a collectible, and you've got you've got the postage, the 10% fee, and you will have any kind of transactional fee. So like the PayPal 2.9%. Now it's managed payments. I think it's down to 2.3%. So you've got to do your maths, or it's not going to work. And sometimes you have to pull the trigger because the card will go before you can even. It's gone before you know it. So let's have a quick look. I'm actually going to restart the search just to make sure. Oh, don't want to do that. I'm going to restart the search because I want the latest listings. So yeah, we're not seeing much at the moment. Of course, you're seeing all sorts of different items here because we haven't put in Pokemon cards. We just put in the Pokemon brand. So we're gonna get all sorts here. We're gonna get anything under that brand. So we can get games, all sorts. Now this looks quite nice. Although it's a modern card, obviously modern cards the market can be quite versatile. That's the wrong word. What word am I looking for? Volatile. That's the word. Prices can go up very, very quickly, but these are good for flipping. So I'm going to do my favourite, my tabs. This is quite a good way to search. Again, I'm comparing prices head to head. Stick on buy it now. So we were looking at a $13.85. Also consider the postage, so $13.85 all in. And there it is. I recognise that nice little. So here you could even do a quick, it's $13.85. You could go top price 12. Obviously, be careful of digital cards. Done that before. Don't want to do it. But yeah, it looks like there's nothing less than £12. So we'll whack that off. And yeah, unless one thing I would say here. So $13.85, just on judging by this. Compared to other listings, is a really good price. Like when I say really good, I don't mean you're going to make much money on it, but I mean it's going for around about the market value. And if I whack that into here, I would have thought, to be honest, Lapras VMAX, I reckon that's going to be pretty close to what it comes on here. Yeah. So yeah, this card, for instance, you're not going to make much money. It's not one to flip, but would be good for a collection, for instance, because you're paying roughly the market value, probably a bit less. So that's one that you might just want to add. But you're not going to make any money on it unless you are very good at taking pictures or you chance your arm. So for instance here, 18th of April, actually that's a few days ago. I believe it's the 23rd today, 5 days ago. So it's for $18.95. So this is another little trick. Whack open Excel if you've got it, or if you can. You might be on your mobile, always tricky. So it's $13.85. So the cost will be roughly £1.38 for the 10%. Let's assume you bought it and sold it £18. This is, by the way. assume you sold it at £18, that'd be £1.80 and 10% fee. You could probably send it for £1. So your costs are £16.65, selling it for £18. Depends how good your maths is, your formulas. I'm going to do this. Oh, what am I doing here? Right, equals, you want the profit minus all of the costs. So you need to minus that, and minus that, and minus that. £1.35 profit. And that's selling it for a price that is at the top of the market by the looks of things. So yeah, not a good flip, you know, but you know, you might be able to get £1.35. Could get some more, or another. It depends if you want to flip in the short term or the long term. You know, if you could buy this, it's a really good condition. You could buy this, you could stick it up at £20, and it might sell in 3 or 4 months until the current kind of inventory goes down or the market responds. Again, it depends on the card and the collection. I would have thought there's quite a few of these on the market. Yeah, it's 144, so chances of that happening. Oh, that's right, I sold. If I go back, there's 88. So chances of that's going to go up to £20. Oh, one left. 18. There you go. Oh, 19. That is. Then yeah, chances going to go for £20 is unlikely now. It might do in a few months, but then you're kind of playing the long-term game. You know, the market could change. It could go the other way. So, you know, probably wouldn't invest in that one, or buy that one, I should say. Maybe invest, but then you're holding that long term, and that's, again, that is another kettle of fish, so they say. So I've done that. I've tried that for a while. I'm getting pretty bored of that. But of course, you know, you could go there all day, and you know, you can put on lowest price, highest price, ending soonest. So that's another one. We'll do that now quickly, actually, while we're still on the same kind of search. Auction. Pokemon's a good search. I don't tend to do it often, believe it or not, because 12 minutes, because it's just not how I like to buy cars. You know, I don't like sifting through a lot of stuff, but that really sometimes is where all the kind of good deals are. But this is another potential thing you can do. You can put on an auction and go ending soonest, and you can look how quick it is. I didn't even get there in time. I've got to scroll down to 5 items to find the latest one. But if you know the value of cards, then this can be absolutely dynamite. So let's say this Mew here, you knew that promo Mew card generally sells for £10. Now you could go up to probably about £6-7, you know, until you start to lose a profit, or lose any worthwhile profit. And it obviously depends how many cards you want to sell, how much time you have, but you know, these are things just to think about. But yeah, learn the cards, and that's one thing I'd advise, is instead of just going after any card willy-nilly, I would look for cards that you are familiar with or particularly like. You know, focus all on the Mew Black Star promo and become an expert in that card. Know what it sells for, when the market changes, you know, is it going up, is it going down, learn the trends. And if you do that, then you will know what a good deal is, and you'll be able to get it straight away. And then also another part of that is you could actually control the market. So you could buy every card in that, you know, depends what it is. When I say that, you're not going to be able to own every card or be able to control the supply in like a Mew Black Star promo, but you might be able to in something a lot more rare. I mean, it's probably going to cost you, but it is possible, or at least for a short while. So yeah, things to consider. Now, I've done that kind of main generic search, but there is obviously, you can start looking for sets. So Wizard of the Coast, for instance, so you could type in, you know, this acronym, or you could even go the whole boy, and if you do that, you're going to get auto suggest as well. One thing I would say is, when you do use the auto suggest, is that you need to be quite careful with some of the acronyms in particular, because if you type in WTC, chances are the seller's going to probably be a bit more savvy as to what their cards are worth, because they know you have a better understanding of what what they're selling. You know, if you type in, this is an example of someone who doesn't really understand eBay. They've put on an auction. See, you know, this is not the best card. It's not one we're gonna buy. Well, we can't buy it anymore. We've lost it. But you know, this is, if you understand eBay, you know that's not a great listing title, and you know that that's not going to be searched. They've got auction. Bless them. You know, they're not going to command the best price they can get for that, because you know they're just not optimizing eBay for what it is. So they're the kind of things you want to try and pick up. Obviously not that card, but that's the kind of thing you want to make. You want to find those errors or those inexperiences, or even those people who don't really care and they just want to sell what they've got and make as much money as they can. They think they can, and they don't understand the true value. But anyway, we're going to go back to this because this is a good search for the most part. Don't hate this. It's an auction. Oh no, buy it now. Why does it say 3 hours left? I want to buy it now. Bizarre. It may have a buy it now price. Yes. Okay, that confused me. Anyway, we're not going to sit here and buy an Onyx. You'd be disappointed in me if I did that. But anyway, let's look for some. Oh, it's shining Steelix. Lovely. Okay, so that looks in bloody great condition. There's a cool card as well. So this is the kind of card I would watch, and so 1 day, 1 hour for 250. Okay, let's have a look. Let's do a little jig. 164. And another thing you can do, which I haven't shown just yet, is this. So I think that's a near destiny. Yeah, I believe it is. Oh, it looks slightly different. That was first edition, actually. But when you put this in, and one thing I've noticed as well with Pokemon Price is it's fantastic, but the pictures are off. You know, this is, I'm not looking for the first edition. I'm looking at this, the regular edition, and the picture's got the first edition. So don't always worry that imagine that is not there. But anyway, Shining Steelix. So you can look at the population. So this card, for instance, here's where I'm going with this. Sorry, I'm being a bit confusing. This is in great condition. This could be, I reckon this could be PSA graded. Probably not at the moment. Well, it's banned at the moment, or when I say banned, it's been put on hold because of the supply and demand and the amount of people trying to send cards in. But anyway, this card looks like it could easily be graded. Now, that to me looks like a PS9. PS9, £495. Or dollars. And that was sold a few days ago. PSA 10 is 670. So you're paying. Oh, sometimes you know you have to make the conversions here. You can safely assume that that's around 450 quid, probably less. Got fees to take into account and everything. However, this is buy it now 250 or starting bid 150. Who knows? This might not even sell. So that, to me, I've just seen something that is actually really caused some concern. So what I was going to say, this is a really good deal because you could probably sell this. I actually reckon this is around market price. And they're not selling very frequently. No, this is definitely a long-term hold play here. What I was going to say is you could whack this into PSA and you could get this at grade 9, and then you've got a card that's worth, you know, you're paying 250. You've probably got a card that's worth £400. Minus fees, you're looking at £7,500 profit. I'm probably been a bit, let's say £75. So you know, winning thing to do here. However, I've added to my watch list. I've just seen this. Now I can't believe I didn't look at this earlier. See, we all make mistakes, even people who use the platform every day. Now, to me, you know, could be a great guy, great girl, who, whatever, but I'm not gonna spend £250 on no feedback. So it's over. The dream is over. But that's the kind of thing you have to do, and that's the kind of frustration you have. But that is the nature of the beast. Now these are interesting ones. I'm going to open this up because I hate it when people do this. I hate it. You just can't. And well, to be fair, I was going to say I hate it because it, stops you from really seeing the card and helping you understand what the condition's like. But we don't need to. Look at the state of that. 200 quid. No idea. No idea. I think he's chancing his arm there. I mean, there's not even a back picture. I hope nobody buys that for their own sake, because that's, even it's a Gyarados, but I don't think it was first edition, was it? No, not even a first edition. It's a shame, but it happens. See, look at this. This is quite nice. Bit of base set 2. It's just a cool card though, isn't it? Always drawn to it, even though it's a bird or a pigeon. No, not enough good condition for me. Now, see, this is another thing you can do, because this is what I find that I always struggle with. Now you're going to get your chances, but if you whack in near mint, you just cut that. Generally, you cut that rubbish out, and it just makes your searches a lot more fruitful. See this. Look at this one. It's a lot better. Here we go. Quite like this card. I don't know. I haven't bought one recently, so I don't know how much this goes for. But it doesn't look too bad a deal. For some reason, a lot of these look like they're on auction, but I think they're just on both. Yeah, I'm on like some kind of. I think people are doing both. So this is quite good. I'd check. Let's quickly check how much this is selling for. Oh god! And so far, I just realised we've been going for quite a long time. I've not added anything to the basket. Disappointing. And one thing I'd like to say is, if you've got any questions about this process, drop them down, comments down in the below, and I'll get back to you, and we can do some more videos like this, because I wish I had these kind of videos when I started. It helped me find some cards. I've bought some tut, so it'd be good if I had this kind of information when I started. But anyway, no, this is not good. This is not. If you flip in, this is absolute no go. Okay. Oh, then. You could sit here and you could compare. Near mint. Yeah, it is good. It is good. It is good. Maybe we'll just go. And this is the thing with eBay. You've got to be careful with the exact search, because that can throw you off. Yeah, no, that's not, no go. Anyway, back to the drawing board. Always nice. I'd love to buy it, but it's just too much. Well, it's not. Well, it is, isn't it? It is too much. That's the thing. Good seller though. Anyway. Oh. Nope. Oh, these are quite good. Sometimes if you get like a set, you can really make some good monies. This one's not in great condition, but sometimes that pulls the value of them all down, and that might be enough to put people off when the other cards in the set are really good. I don't think I'm going to be. No, they're not holos either, so no. That didn't work in this instance, but sometimes it does. So always check, unless you fear missing out on another card because of it. Oh, what we got here? Nice. Jimmy Heroes, gotta love it. What are we at? 25 quid. Oh, it's not fruitful so far, is it? First edition 85, it wasn't, was it? No. Of course, I'm doing this very quickly. You'd need to do this with a finer comb. Is that the same? Made it up. But yeah, you really wanna check, because if you get it wrong, oh, see, we could be in with something here. I like this. It's a first edition. It's a first edition. It's in very good condition. Oh, Hypno. And I quite like Hypno. Don't know why. Always have. I don't think it's everybody's favourite, but I tended to like him. Not in that kind of way. That sounded a bit weird. Oh, what have I done here? Oh, doesn't help when you can't use the computer. And I'm gonna have to change the search again, aren't I? Yeah. What am I doing here? Oh, I can't even spell now. This. If this was any good, it's gone. Oh, £45. This is £39.99. 26. So yeah, we've seen it sold for a little bit more, although historically it hasn't. Oh yeah, £50, not bad. That's back in March, but so there could be some potential profit here. What's currently up for sale? 10. So this is something I might buy because there's not much on the market and everything is priced a little bit more. Maybe what I would do at this stage is I would check the other listings. So I think this is in better condition than that. No, there is a bit on the edge. It's not PSA worthy, but I would say it's better than that. And then bugger off, Magnuson, we don't want you anymore. And then we've got, this is a mint at £10 more, and I would say it rivals that. So let's say we're gonna have it. We're gonna add it to the basket. We like the look of it. At most, it's probably going to sell. Again, this is flipping. If you want to, this would be quite a good one to hold because it's in good condition and it's probably going to go up. I say probably, always caveat that. So if we sold this at £50, looking at £5, let's say £1 for postage. And I forgot one other cost, haven't I? Sales. What you can do here as well, if it helps, because sometimes it does, is final sales fee. Postage. This is supposed to be, what is it? Packaging. Of course. Obviously, this is, I always overestimate, but it's better to do that. Profit. Well, that's from before. We don't need that. So let's say we sell it 50 quid. £4. Now that's quite a lot of money to have tied up for £4, but do that 10 times. It's 40 quid. Depends how much money you have to sell. It doesn't make sense. Depends how much money you have to put into your cards, how quickly you want to sell them, etc. So I don't know how many of you are still with me. Could be talking to myself, but you know, I'm still here. I'm still looking. I'm still trying to find. These are just some of the searches I do now. I might actually, we've been going for some time, I actually might do another video because I think it'd be more useful for everyone involved if I do, and I'm actually just going to focus on a very particular style and method that I use to pick up good cards. As you can see, this particular strategy has not been too good for today. I'm going to continue looking, I'm going to continue searching, and I'll be looking at all sorts of different things. But I just wanted to show you roughly how I do it, the process I use, some of the things I check, you know, some of the tools. So you got your classic TCG, you've got your Pokemon price, you've got your sold items, and yeah, I just thought this would be useful. If you have any questions, comments, drop them down below. I'm going to be doing another video just like this, and you'll find out exactly of another technique I use that hopefully will be more fruitful than this was today, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So if you do like this type of video, please like the video, because that lets me know that this is useful or people want more of it. If you subscribe, then that also helps me, and it will help you because you well, if you hit the alert button as well, you will then be notified of when I release new videos like this. So I hope you have an excellent day, and I hope that your searches in eBay are a little bit more productive than mine have been.